Hello, hello, hello. Assalamu alaikum. Jiayanu, Pakhair Agale, Ni Hao, Chunashume, Washmale, Ohio Gonzaimas, Guten Morgen, hi, hugs and hellos, and a very amazing Khush Hamadid to everybody who's tuned into PTV World and a Watching World this morning, alongside the one and the only, Shazad Khan. Thank you very much for tuning in. It's time to rise and shine, wake and bake. Please get up, and all of your goals which you have in your head, and about all of those goals, if you have been thinking, please make sure that you are more focused today and you are more determined, because determination is what takes you towards success. Today, we have a very amazing show for you guys. Yesterday, we had a book writer, we had a novelist, and then he was a poet too. He was on the show, and he was talking about all of those issues which he faced when he went to the publishers, when he wanted his book to be published, and all of those difficulties we were discussing. Now, what happens is, or what happened, so my producers and we sat down, and then we thought that, what we need to do is we probably need to resolve these issues. So we've actually got our hands onto some young, amazing, talented people who are actually going to be our resolve. That's what we are going to do for the show. But right now, I think we need to take a look at what's happening in the country. Top stories coming up. Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif says Pakistan supports efforts of Amir of Kuwait in finding a solution to current crisis in Gulf region. Three-member bench of Supreme Court headed by Justice Ejaz Afzal Khan will resume hearing of Panama Papers implementation case today. Counsel for Prime Minister Khwaja Haris will continue his arguments before the bench. Lahore High Court rejects PTI Chief Imran Khan's petition against disqualification of Chief Minister Punjab Shehbaz Sharif. Accession to Pakistan Day is being observed on both sides of line of control today, with renewed pledge to continue struggle for right to self-determination and to translate idea of accession of entire Jammu and Kashmir state to Pakistan. And last but not the least, England qualified for final of ICC Women's World Cup after beating South Africa by 2 wickets in first semi-final at Bristol. Well, these were the top stories, and this is what's happening all around the country. Time now for a public service message, which we hope that you will listen with all your heart. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we all know that within Pakistan, it's the monsoon season and heavy downpours going on all across the country. So the public service message is that please make sure, for all those people who are going out for shopping, or whether you're going to a grocery store, please make sure that you tell it to the storekeeper or the shopkeeper that please do not give us the plastic bags, because first of all, they can't decompose. And then other than that, when it's the monsoon season and when the rains start downpouring, all of these shopping bags and whatsoever, which is really not decomposable, what happens is that they block the way of the water, and then the water actually starts to go somewhere else as well. And other than that, for all those fish in the sea, and then for all those birds who are out there, if they get stuck in all of these kind of things, it gets very difficult for them to get out. In fact, I've seen quite a lot of animals struggling and then dying just because of the fact that they were strangled with all of these bags. So please make sure that you don't do that, because if we are beautiful human beings, and if we are human beings, what we need to do is that other than keep looking after the human beings or this aspect of the society or the world, I think we have to look after the wildlife too. It's our responsibility. Well, now this was the public service message. I think it was a good one, right? Let me ask my producer, was it a good one? Oh yeah, he says it was a good one. Well, he never said that, but I'm assuming. Okay, but other than that, ladies and gentlemen, so coming back to the point where I started, and that is that, yesterday when the poet was here, and he said that, when he went to the publisher, it was very difficult for him to find a good publisher, first of all. And then all of those people who actually are a part of the supply chain where the distribution comes in, and all of that expertise part, obviously writers do not know where to go and what to do. What they do is that with the stroke of the pen, they change the thoughts of people. Now, we have some young, amazing kids who have actually given us a platform to the entire world out there, where they encourage us to write books, where they enable us to publish our books, and then they motivate us to do it. And that's the reason why we've got these books on the table as well. and we've got very interesting things to share. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to introduce to you these amazing kids. They were very nervous in the beginning, but I think they're all good now. They're all cool since they have been listening to me for more than 5 minutes. And well, okay, let's do it. Are you guys ready? Okay. I want to hear you guys together. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
All right, they're all ready. So on my right-hand side, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, I've got Syed Umar Amir, who's the founder and CEO of Dastan. He's an engineer, by the way, and published an action-thrilled novel named The Forbidden Story. Hello, how are you? Assalamu alaikum. Kaise hain aap? Theek hain?
Yes.
Thank you very much for joining us, and what a good, amazing, lovely, smiling face you have. Relax, it's perfectly all right. Alongside Syed Umar Amir, we have got Miss Shafa Sajjad, who is an Urdu poet and writer. Her work has been published in various magazines and newspapers. Hello, Shafa, how are you? Assalamu alaikum.
I'm good. Walaikum salam.
Thank you very much for being over here. Alongside Shafa, we have got Miss Tahreem Hassan. She's a visual artist and a poet working with Women Writers Forum. Hello, assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
Thank you very much for coming over. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Absolutely perfect. Thank you for asking. And alongside Miss Tahreem, we have got, okay, are you ready? She looks a bit nervous. It's perfectly all right. Okay, so she's a success story. Okay, she's a success story who actually worked with Dastan first and then got into a very amazing job. And her name is Arusa Mushtaq Malik. She's content writer at Van Tiboli Corporation. Hello, assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Perfectly fine.
Thank you very much for coming over. And last but not the least, he's a big guy. And the way he sits makes you look like as if he's the MD of the organization. He's the managing director, without a doubt. His name is Noman Shahid Khan. He's a mechanical engineer, and literature is his passion. His work has been published in various newspapers and magazines too. Hello, Noman. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum salam. I'm perfectly
Can
fine.
you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you very much. So, ladies and gentlemen, to the full of length of the studio, we have got guests over here. So everybody's perfect, everybody's relaxed. I think it's about time that I start my conversation with all of these young, amazing people who came up with this platform, and the name is Dastan. So Umar, you are the CEO and the founder of Dastan.
Yes.
Tell me your Dastan of Dastan.
So the story of Dastan started around 3 years back. I had a novel and I wanted to get it published.
Okay.
So unfortunately, I couldn't find a publisher who would actually entertain a emerging talent like me.
Okay.
So
Okay, so you yourself perceive that you're an emerging talent. Good, great.
So instead of just shutting the idea of getting published like every other writer do, I actually resolved myself that I'm going to build that entire system that's going to publish the writers of Pakistan, and it's going to evolve as a global publishing platform.
And it has evolved so much that
Yes.
finally we've got the books over here. It's
Yes.
an online publishing platform too. So what happens? What is the system, and how did you evolve all of this by your own self?
So we started our journey back in 2014, December 2014.
Relatively new.
Yeah, so I applied for a program called Plan 9, and that was a government incubator. So after spending 6 months there and learning how
Was
to...
it with HEC or NUST?
No, it runs in the Punjab government.
Okay, it runs in the Punjab government. Amazing.
Yes. So we were in the 5th cycle and we learned that how to actually run a business, how to talk to clients, how to write formal emails,
Wow.
and learning the how to do business in short.
Amazing.
So I'm an engineer by profession. So
Yeah, I told people.
yeah, so shifting from engineering to business side requires a lot of significant effort. So that's where Plan 9 help us. They help us with connections. They help us get our idea off the ground.
Okay.
So right after graduating there, I went back to my hometown. That's Wakent. So that's from where all the operations of Dastan are held. And what I did was that I kept applying to various programs. So recently we completed another 6 months acceleration program under Telenor Velocity, where they helped us accelerate our product Kissa. That's basically the product, that's Pakistan's first self-publishing platform. So it enables Pakistani writers to avail print on demand within Pakistan.
Wow.
So you might have heard about Amazon.
Yeah.
Amazon's Create Space.
Yeah.
But being a Pakistani writer, you cannot go on Amazon and publish your work. Even if you do, you cannot draw your earnings.
Okay.
You must have someone abroad who can actually do that for you.
Because
Yeah.
there's PayPal and all
Exactly.
of these.
So what we did was that we have a lot of good talent in Pakistan, but they don't have a platform which they can use to actually fulfill their dreams.
Exactly.
That's where we come in.
And that's where I want you to stop. I want to move on towards the managing director of the organization, and I want him to tell us that how all of those people who are out there who are listening to you and who want actually to get their things published or writings published or poetry published, what do they have to do? Do they have to log on to Dastan and just say that, okay, just click publish? What is the system behind it?
All right, so the system is actually pretty simple, and that is our main proposition that we have for young writers in Pakistan, that they usually don't have to worry anymore about how they will publish their work.
Okay.
All you have to do is just a simple click of a button. You have to go onto your computer. You have to type www.merakissa.com.
Okay.
That is the address of the self-publishing website that we have. After you go there, you will see a set of instructions that will tell you how to sign up on the website. You just sign up. It is pretty easy. After that, you will be redirected to your own profile page. It's like if anybody has done freelancing before, like you make a profile page on Upwork, or if you have used Goodreads before, literary writing forum. So once you sign up on merakissa.com, you build your own profile. You tell the world what you are writing right now, and what you are what you want to publish. And once you build your profile, then you will send your work to the editorial team that we have at Dastan.
Okay.
We have a team of 73 editors right now,
Very nice.
who are experienced in their field, of course. And once your work goes forward to them, then they will observe it for any discrepancies, any controversies, anything else. If it needs any improvement or not, we will contact you and let you know. We will not change anything without your permission, of course. So that is the biggest
But you will
thing.
recommend a change if it's necessary, right?
Definitely, that is the biggest thing that we proposed, because traditional publishers usually change it without asking for the writer's permission.
Okay.
They say, okay, this is not good, you should change it. This is not good, you should change that. So we actually take the writer on board and make sure that whatever change we make, he is he has given us the permission to make that change.
Okay, amazing that is. But there's one more thing which I want to ask, and that is that, within your speech, within whatever you said that, we just, we send all the content to the editors, and then they check whether there's something controversial in it or not, right? Now, so that means that, you have a publishing online platform where you do not like freedom of speech or, freedom of writing. Why would you recommend somebody, whether it's controversial or not, because you do not want things to get difficult for you?
No, actually, because the freedom of speech is a thing which you define by the social norms and cultures in Pakistan right now. So controversy is a thing that we look to avoid.
Why? This is what I'm asking.
I would like to
All right,
add.
yeah, go ahead, Mr. Founder. Yeah.
So what happens is that while you're operating as a company, you have to abide by a set of laws.
Okay.
For example, if we are operating in Pakistan, so we also have a religious factor which we have to consider. We cannot publish anything that goes around that.
Yeah.
So if this company was registered in UK, I would have easily done that. So we just check that to enable that writer do not get in trouble later on. Because as long
So
as
it's for the writer's concern.
Exactly. The point is that if you are publishing anything online, we are perfectly fine with it. The moment it goes in print, that's where the laws gets implemented.
Okay.
So we want to save the writers.
Okay, amazing.
That's what we are doing.
Okay, amazing. Now I want to move on to Arusa. Arusa, hello, how are you? Still there?
Perfectly fine.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you very much. So Arusa, you are a success story of Dastan and Mera Kissa as well. How do you think that Dastan and working with Mera Kissa or Dastan has actually helped you to get a job with something Taboli, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Vantable.
Yeah.
Actually, I have been writing since I was younger. Like, it's been more than a decade.
Yeah.
But I think for any writer, feedback is the most necessary thing. If you're not getting immediate feedback for your writing, you do not have any way to improve.
Okay.
So when I started working with Dastan last year, I joined the Literary Fellowship program. That was the first program. I was a part of a team, and they used to give us things to do every week. Like, we had assignments, we had work to do, we had to write poems or stories, and that is how my writing improved, because I was getting immediate feedback.
Okay.
Through that, I was able to improve my own writing in terms of other content. Vantaboli, it's all about hair care products. I'm writing blogs about hair care products. It's completely different from the short fiction writing that I was doing at Dastan. But
Do you guys have something for bald patches too as well?
I am not sure yet.
Because
But
that
I
was
will look
you
it up.
and me. Okay, that's perfect. So it has actually helped you in your
Yeah,
success story. We'll
immensely.
definitely be asking you more questions, certainly. But now let's move on to Tareem over here. So Tareem, first of all, tell us about Young Women's Writers Forum.
Actually, Dastan is publishing, and we are actually channelizing women writers to Dastan. And you know that in Pakistan, particularly in the rural areas, people are not really comfortable with women going into the fields of literature and all that. So basically,
Oh, come on.
they are not.
Really?
So
Okay.
basically, it started.
Okay,
in,
let me ask Shafa first of all. Shafa, was there any difficulty? What about your parents? Did they stop you from writing or getting your things published?
No, no, my parents not. My parents.
It's all right. Okay, what about you? Did they ever tell you that, don't get it published, don't go anywhere else?
It wasn't about publishing, it was more about, focus on your studies.
Okay, so yeah.
So actually, even if they allow their daughters or their family members, female family members, to go into literature, but there are still many families. When I started working with Young Women Writers Forum, I got to know that there was a lot of talent, but women were really not. They did not have a platform where they can connect with other female writers and express themselves. So this was the basic step. It started back then in 1994. By Bushra Iqbal Malik, but it was for older women writers. But then by 2008, we felt the need that young women writers also need a platform that for their publishing or for expressing themselves. So it's basically initiated in Peshawar. And then from Peshawar, we moved towards Islamabad in 2011. Our Islamabad chapter started. Then in 2016, we started our Lahore chapter.
Right.
And now we are operating in Karachi as well. We have initiated our Karachi chapter as well. So the first task is to bring writers on one platform, women writers on one platform. And
Only
then
young.
we have experienced women writers who mentor them, and basically we connect them with German writers as well, German English writers.
Wow.
On merit-based mentorship, and we connect the poets who want to further improve their poetry or their writings, and then after that they not only get an opportunity to improve their work. Their work is also presented in different presentations in Pechakucha in Germany.
Very nice.
So after that, there are writers who then want to publish themselves. Then we channel them towards Dastan. So here, Dastan and women writers are linked, that we are providing women talent to Dastan.
And Dastan's web or portal address is www.merakissa.com. That's what it is. But at this very point, ladies and gentlemen, I think we need to go for a short break. Don't go anywhere, because when we come back, we'll be in conversation with Shafa, first of all, because I think she's here to promote Urdu literature. Am I right?
Yes.
Let's take a break. Good morning. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back for everybody who just got tuned into PTV World. You're watching World This Morning alongside Shazad Khan. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about a platform with the name of Dastan, and the portal address is www.merakissa.com, which enables and empowers the young writers who are out there all across the globe. And this is what we are discussing. But before going towards the break, I wanted to ask Shafa, because when we were having a conversation prior to the show, she said that she wants to promote Urdu literature, which I think was a very amazing thing for somebody from Pakistan to say, and she wants to preserve literature too. So Shafa, how do you think, with what actions you're going to promote Urdu literature?
बेसिकली अगर मैं उर्दू लिटरेचर की बात करूं तो उर्दू लिटरेचर इतनी हद तक इग्नोर हो चुका है कि अब आजकल के लोग बिल्कुल उर्दू टाइपिंग से ही वाकिफ़ नहीं हैं. अब अमूमन ऐसा होता है कि
So you'll have to stop because I'll have to translate for all those people who cannot understand Urdu. So she's trying to convey that, you know, Urdu speaking or Urdu writing has been so, I mean, people have been so ignorant that they really do not even know how to type Urdu. So, okay, moving on.
और अमूमन ऐसा होता है कि अब मैं क्योंकि एक फ़ोटोग्राफ़र भी हूँ और जब मैंने अपना इंस्टा का ब्लॉग स्टार्ट किया था तो मैंने फ़ोटोग्राफ़ी के साथ उर्दू की कैप्शन स्टार्ट की थी. और मोस्टली मुझे ये रिस्पांस मिलता था कि काइंडली इसे रोमन में लिखते हैं क्योंकि हम उर्दू को अंडरस्टैंड नहीं कर पा रहे, हम पढ़ नहीं पा रहे कि उर्दू का कैसा है, कैसे हम इसे पढ़ें. इसके अलावा जो आजकल मैंने देखा है कि हमारे पास इतने प्लेटफॉर्म्स नहीं हैं कि हम उर्दू को प्रमोट कर सकें. और इसके लिए मैं कहूँगी कि मैंने जब दास्तान ज्वाइन किया और यंग वुमेन राइटर्स फोरम ज्वाइन किया तो इन लोगों ने मुझे इतनी अपॉर्चुनिटी दी, इतना कॉन्फिडेंस दिया कि मैं उर्दू को लिख सकूं, अपना काम पब्लिश कर सकूं और इसे और ज़्यादा प्रमोट कर सकूं.
Amazing. So now what she said was, what she's trying to say is that, you know, whenever I used to post something or write something in Urdu over the internet or the social media, so people used to actually text her or inbox her and say that, you know, please write it in Roman because we cannot understand it. And then she's actually trying to reiterate that when she joined hands with Dastan and the Young Women's Writing Forum, I think that's what the name is. And so they gave her so many other opportunities where she's actually now able to promote Urdu. And since you are an Urdu poet too, share a couplet with us. And this is your opportunity to promote. Okay, look straight into the camera, this camera, और अपना एक शेर सुनाइए. Okay, so it's in the cell phone. Meanwhile, when she's, you know, she's going to figure it out. Meanwhile, we are going to move on to Umar. So now, Umar, how do you think yourself, since you are the founder, your vision is very important. How do you think that you are actually promoting or encouraging young people to write? Now, I'm not talking about young writers. All I'm saying is that you're promoting or enabling them to write that, okay, you know, for example, if I'm at home, you know, I logged on to Mera Kissa and I was like, okay, you know, it's a good idea to write. Let me just write something. How do you do that?
So the main, the Dastan vision is to actually not only empower but also to encourage. So regarding encouraging factor, how do we do that?
Yeah.
We do that through strong digital media, digital marketing campaigns.
Okay.
We have lot of good writers who have done so much, but they don't actually get any voice.
Yeah.
These are just two stories which you can see right now on the
Tell
table.
us about these stories.
So the left one, Unveiling the Unknown, that's basically our first ever novel. It is written by Tuba Arshad. She was a student from NED Karachi.
Okay.
So she was just a student like me. She wanted to get published. She couldn't find a publisher. She came to us. We gave her a platform. We actually raised the amount of going into print through pre-orders.
All right.
And all she did was just came to us. And that's how we are enabling Pakistani writers to actually fulfill their dreams.
All right.
And the right one which you see is actually the Divided Species. It is Pakistan's first science fiction novel. It's written by a journalist in Karachi.
Okay.
So these are the stories which when we market on social media and through channels and platforms like yours, what happens is that those who are just thinking that maybe I think I should write, so when they hear these stories, they can relate it. And they can tell their parents, you see, that guy did that through Dastan, I want to do it too.
Okay.
So that's where the encouraging factor came in. Then we have so much amazing editors and mentors in our team.
I mean, we've got Shafa and then we have got Arusa as well. You know, all of these ladies over here are actually success stories of Dastan.
So the point is that we have such amazing team. When you come to us, when you inbox on our social media page or email us or call us, what happens is that we get back to you. We listen to your problems. We guide you. Even if we cannot, even if we feel that we are not the right platform, we direct you that you should go to that particular platform.
Oh, that's cool.
So that's why we brand ourselves as an enabling platform. Our vision is to take our entire offline literary industry online through an automated digital portal.
Amazing. I'll come back to this point, but I think Shafa's ready. So Shafa ji, क्या लिखा है आपने?
ये एक नज़म थी जो बेसिकली मैंने अपने फादर की डेथ के बाद लिखी थी, लेकिन सुन ए नादान ओ कम फहम, वो जो बड़े गरूर बड़ी अना में आगे चला जा रहा है, इसे आवाज़ देना फजूल है, इसका हाथ पकड़ना बेमैनी है, इसे भला इस बात से क्या मतलब कि तुम इस तक पहुंचने के लिए गिर कर संभलो या संभल कर गिर जाओ।
आए पढ़ लो मैनू।
इसे तो बस जाना है, दूर, बहुत दूर, एक ना ख़त्म होने वाले अब्दी सफ़र पर। अरे ओ गाफिल, वो रुकने के लिए थोड़ी आया था, वो तो जाने के लिए आया था। और देखो, तुम्हें अपनी ज़ात का आदी बनाकर कितना बेपरवाह होकर जा रहा है, जैसे रह जाने वाले मरने वाले को दफना कर जा रहे हो। मत रोको, मत आवाज़ दो, कि तुम रोको भी तो कब इसको ठहर जाना
Wow,
है।
very, very, very beautifully written. And for all those people who are out there, who doesn't understand Urdu, well, it's about time that, if you're in Pakistan, you should actually understand Urdu. So I'm going to give you a gist of it. And this is something which she actually wrote for her deceased father. And the entire story is actually about him that, obviously death is a reality and then, everybody has to leave. But all of that love which you have with that person, that can never ever be forgotten about. So this is what the entire crux was. It was very beautifully written. Now coming back to you. So now you said that, you promote people. In fact, I'll move on to the managing director of your company. Okay, sir, I'm coming back to you. Now what happens is that quite a lot of times, even when I was going through your profile, you said that, we need help from physical distributors as well. But with the advent of technology, what happens is we have got iCloud, we have got Google Drive, we have got everything, so we can save the data. And I think the story of bench life is long gone now. Why do you think we even need physical printing, or why do you think that we need physical distributors when we have social media to do that?
Well, actually, what I as a writer myself think, and what I know most writers will, tell, that holding a physical book or holding your own copy of the work that you have done in your hand is a feeling that you cannot provide on any online platform.
Okay.
You cannot get that feeling through an ebook or a newspaper magazine, an e-magazine. So physical
I mean,
print
we can
media.
print it at home. Everybody's got a printer. I mean, that's what my point is. Yeah.
Yeah, so but you don't get the feeling of being published then.
Fine.
You publish yourself, you won't get that feeling. Nobody will. People say, "Oh, okay, so you wrote yourself and you printed yourself. So what's the big deal then?" So
So it's
when
like
you
liking
publish
your
it,
own comment on Facebook.
Sir,
yeah, definitely.
Your managing director is already speaking, sir. Don't do that.
So that's why we need the physical print media to tell the world that this writer has done something powerful, and you need to read this, hold this in your hand. Some people don't go for print media.
Okay.
On our site, we have the option to have it as an ebook as well as a physical printed book.
Amazing.
So if you don't want to go for the printed version and don't want other people to pay for the printed copy, so that's your option as well. But for those readers, and especially readers that are in love with literature, they need to hold the book to get the feeling of the story.
Yeah.
So they want the option of getting a hard book in their hands.
I have
And
actually
we
slept with a big book so many times because, my mother and father, they used to lock me inside the room and they used to tell me study. And I used to pretend as I studied so much and I got tired. And this is what I used to do. So the physical touch is very important.
Yes.
Okay, now Tari, moving on to you. What are the other problems with physical distributors?
Coming to physical distributors, it depends upon readership as well. As she talked about Urdu, so when we go to the different bookstores, they don't usually have, they have the Urdu section, but when we go towards the Urdu section, we are usually disappointed that that we are not, that they are very minimal books that that we want to read, and coming towards again even in English. So we have like we can get books by renowned authors or not, but when it comes to young writers, they're usually ignored. So platforms like Dastan, when they promote young writers, so their physical copies are distributed as well, and they are promoted when they are promoted online, and the reader is tempted to buy that online copy. So online promotion is the solution, but the main problem that we're facing is in the bookstores, that young writers is not being, their copies are not being focused or projected or getting the attention they deserve.
All right, and if next time this happens, or if there's a publisher or probably a distributor who's actually not agreeing to what you want to do and they want to play their own story, please do let us know, and we'll definitely look into the matter too as well. That's our promise on behalf of PT World and on behalf of World This Morning's team. Now, Rusa, moving on to you. How do you think that throughout your life, since the time that you have been writing, and you said that it's been over a decade now as well, How do you think Dastan has actually encouraged you to think more creatively, or what type of feedback do you get from their editors when you send your content to them? Do they tell you to change quite a lot of things? Do you actually fight over what you have written, or you don't, or you agree to whatever they say? What happens?
Oh, actually, I've been lucky in this regard. When I was sending my content in to Hira, she was our team lead. She really appreciated, and the feedback that she was giving me, it was more on grammatical terms rather than creative, because not boasting or anything, but she really liked the creatives that I was coming up with.
Very nice.
And
So what type of things do you write?
mostly it's fiction,
Okay.
and it's related to, you know, it's mostly emotional stories.
Oh my
Related to, you know, hope, despair, even death.
Share the names of all of those things so that people can actually look up for that. I mean, you're a writer. I mean, for all those people who think that, you know, they need to read your stories or whatever you've written, share how can they actually look for your stories on merakissa.com.
And I haven't been published on Mera Kissa yet.
Okay.
I used to get my stories and poems published in Us magazine.
Very nice.
International.
That's cool.
Yeah, but it was like years ago, like 4 or 5 years ago. So I don't really remember the date of the publication, but my story was a mirage, nothing more.
Okay,
It was-
amazing. I think, but then at the same time, there's one more thing which I want to ask, and you know, since you mentioned that, you know, there are quite a lot of parents who do not want their kids to work on Urdu literature, might probably be because the people know that English is an international language and this is what we have to do, which is definitely wrong. Now, what I want to ask is, do you think as an author, you can pay your bills? Because you're young people, you've got an entire career right in front of you, or you will have to do something other. So writing will be a career too, or writing will only be a passion?
For me,
Yeah, yeah.
I have shifted to, you know, technical sort of writing or writing blogs for companies because of this very reason, that I know that at this moment my creative writing is not going to pay my bills.
Okay. Not, it's not happening now.
Right
Shafaa,
now.
what about you?
It's just a passion.
Okay, just the passion.
This is what Dastan is trying to do, that Dastan is turning the passion into profession, so that writers who want to write and who want to actually pay their bills through their writing, this is what Dastan is trying to do, and this is what Umar can tell better about.
Okay, Umar, tell us about that.
So the main point which I mentioned here is that you have always seen in news people in Pakistan are actually quitting writing as a profession. All we see, bookstores are being shut down.
But the newspapers are always full of columns. Yeah. I mean, why do you make such judgments or, you know, comments?
The point is that there is a lot of negativity promoted in this site. So what we did was that we actually tried through by building a platform. Like, our platform is entirely free to use. You can use all the features which you want without paying a single rupee.
And then do you use the writers' writing for free too as well, or do you pay the writers?
So what happens is that we introduce the concept of royalty. If you go to traditional publisher, they won't even pay you royalty.
Yeah.
They would say that these are your books, hard books, go home.
Only if it's patent, you know, then you will get it.
The point is that. So what we did was that in our platform, so when you come to us, we sign a contract with you. The terms are negotiable. We teach you that this term means this, do you agree to it? So once we are done with that thing, then we move to the second phase. We accept the content, we raise funds for that particular book, and once the book is in print and we start selling it, then for each copy sold, which is, for example, if you want to buy a copy of Tuba, you just go to our website, type Tuba's name, and you order a copy. The moment you buy the copy, Tuba gets an SMS that her one copy has been sold. This is her royalty, and that comes in her digital wallet.
Wow.
She can go to any shopkeeper and get it cashed out.
That is amazing. That is superb. And one last thing which you want to ask going forward, you know, I will definitely move on to you. Do you think that Dastan or Mera Kissa is actually going to be a global leader in terms of online publishing?
That's what we dream of. Our vision is to
Inshallah.
actually publish around 10,000 authors in the next few years and emerge as a strong national publishing platform. Right now, we have 100 in the last few months of operation.
Amazing, very nice. Shafaa, what do you want to do in future then?
I want to be a photographer.
Okay, so you were promoting Urdu literature earlier, and all of a sudden you want to be a photographer.
Photographer plus
Okay.
writer.
Okay,
Photographer
very
plus
nice.
writer.
Yes. what would-
Definitely write a bestseller novel.
Very nice.
I actually want to bridge the gaps between different mediums of expression. I'm a visual artist by profession.
Yeah, I told
so
them.
this is what I do. I try to connect my writings with different visuals, and this is what I want to do in future.
All right, very nice. And Noman?
So being an engineer, my passion is literature. even though my education is in engineering, but my passion is literature. So I'm also in the process of writing my own first novel, and it is going to be a horror short story.
Wow.
So just keep your fingers crossed.
Is it going to be something like Reader's Digest, Quite a lot of chachiyan and phupiyan used to read that jasusi novel and whatnot. And is it something like that?
No, you can expect something like the Stephen King horror.
Okay, very nice. And one last thing which I want to ask, and that is for all those writers or authors who actually love to write in Urdu or English, do you think that people actually have a choice to have a translated version of those books too as well? With Mera Kissa or Dastan? Let's ask the MD.
For the translated version, actually, we have the online editor available on the merakissa.com platform.
Yeah.
And for every Urdu writer that wishes to translate anything into English, they can put that into the online editor, and the online editor will, it is an automated process that will translate the work for them.
Amazing.
So
thank you very much for being with us. It was lovely to be in a conversation with such amazing, talented kids of Pakistan. And this is when we say that, youth of Pakistan is definitely very talented and we've got a bright future. And we're living in a very bright era too as well, to be very honest. But thank you very much once again. Best of luck. But now, ladies and gentlemen, vegetable of the day. And today we have picked up on broccoli. So let's talk about the health benefits of broccoli. It maintains skin health. It promotes skin regeneration and repair. It's anti-aging. And then it's a good form of sunscreen too. I do not know whether in such a physical form or you can make a paste out of it. Then it protects from skin cancer. It improves skin immune system. It promotes hair growth. So for all those people, I think it's for your company too. I think you can probably go back and recommend to them. And then it strengthens the hair follicles. It combats hair loss and imparts luster and shine. All right. So that's what it is for broccoli, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for being with us, and for all those people who actually want to connect to the Dastan team and the Mera Kissa team. All you have to do is log on to our Facebook fan page, which is with the name of World This Morning. Yeah, it's right here. Yeah, World This Morning. On Twitter, it's World This Morning without a G. On Daily Motion and YouTube, it's World This Morning too as well. And this fabulous repeat is going to be at 5:11 p.m. Look after yourselves. Inshallah, we'll see you tomorrow morning. Good morning.